The Kenyan economy, East Africa's largest, has experienced considerable growth in the past few years, driven by several key factors. The country enjoys some particularly advantages: a reasonable, well-educated labor force, a vital port that serves as entry point for goods destined for countries in East Africa and Central African interiors, abundant wildlife, and also kilometers of attractive coastlines, and above all, a government that is committed to implementing business reforms. Kenya's economy remains one of the strongest economy in East Africa, recording a GDP growth growing at a rate of just over 4.9%, considering figures of 2017 and 2018, and moving down to recent years. Agriculture is the most important contributor to Kenya's GDP of just over 24%. Tea and horticulture are the leading export earners for Kenyans. Looking at different aspects, tea and horticulture exports were valued at just over 147 billion Kenyan shillings, looking at just 1.472 billion looking at US dollars. In different aspects, respectively, Africa is the leading destination of Kenya's export, followed by Asia and Europe. Kenya's main export to Japan are tea, coffee, and also corn flour. Pakistan remains the leading importer of Kenyan's tea. Moving ahead, Kenya's position as the economic, commercial, and logistic hub in East Africa and Central Africa as well places the country as one of the best investment destinations globally. Foreign direct investment, looking at FDI, has been on rise in the strongest in East African region. Additionally, there are rebased gross domestic products figures that looking at just over 58 billion as of a couple of years ago, relevant and activities in Kenya to a lower middle income country that Kenya has been raised, one of the largest economies in sub-Saharan Africa and among the fastest growing in the world. In the region, Kenya is the dominant economy in East Africa community, contributing to more than 40% of the region's GDP. This is also uniquely distinguished from the many countries by the fact that Kenya's economy has far long in time been one of the most diverse, with no oil production, no gas exports as well. The recent discovery of oil in the Turkana, northern part of the country, is likely to strengthen and boost Kenya's economic growth. In looking at different aspects, other milestones would include things like stepping evidence in the modernization of the railways, ports, and also airports. Looking at different areas in terms of the development of the geothermal power station, all puts Kenya on an accelerated developmental pedestal aspect. Also, this is further complemented by Kenyans doing a member of the regional bodies, like for example the EAC and also COMESA, the economic region blocks, which both gives a combined market population of just over 400 million, which is about half of the Africans' total population. If you are new to this channel, we will encourage you to subscribe and share our videos to your different network.
Making sure that the opportunities that are available for Kenyans to work around the globe, the government of Kenya will facilitate, will make it easy, will make it possible for Kenyans to work anywhere in the world, even as they work at home. And my focus is that in the next 3 years, our diaspora remittances must move from 400 billion to 1 trillion Kenya shillings. It's possible.
In considering Kenya, if I'm talking about investing in Kenya, there are a number of things that the country does offers that will attract me. Looking at Kenya, Kenya just offers lots of tax treaties and investment promotions and protection agreements. Kenya is a signatory to a large and growing number of tax treaties and investment promotions and protections agreements, such as the Multilateral Trade System, the MTS, and the ACP, the Cotonou Agreement, and the African Growth and Opportunity Act. This allows exports from Kenya to enjoy preferential access to world market under a number of special access and duty reduction programs. Kenya just also offers stability in a number of areas. Since independence, Kenya has maintained remarkable stability, and also, despite changes in its political system that experienced some challenges few years ago. Since then, the reemergence of also multi-party democracy and promulgatory of a new constitution in 2011, Kenyans have enjoyed an increased degree of freedom, which has propelled the country to become a very attractive area for businesses. In terms of regulatory reforms, Kenya is making efforts to lower the cost of doing business by conducting extensive business regulatory reforms intended to substantially reduce the number of licenses requirements and also to make licensing regimes more simple and transparent and focus on legitimate regulatory purposes. Something very important that you may consider in terms of you investing in Kenya: access to a large pool of highly educated and also skilled workforce. Kenya prides itself in a large pool of highly educated, skilled and sought after workforce in Africa, trained from within the country and institutions around the world. More importantly, you want to focus on this amazing African strategic country. The location is something that plays into the mind of investors. As the leading economy in East Africa, Kenya's strategic location and its well-developed business infrastructure make it a natural choice for investors and also many international firms that have made it their regional hub. The grant investors access to the large East African community and regional market with access to over 385 million consumers. Nairobi is also a major transport hub in East Africa, with connections from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to major destinations around the world. All are occupied and convenient time zones of GMT plus 3, which will make your investment and operation hassle-free. Kenya just also offered a developed social and physical infrastructure, which is very important for every investor. Kenya affords a pleasant and quality standard of living with a spectacular and diverse natural resources, also ranging from wildlife and also sceneries, including the world's famous Massai Mara. The country also boasts some of the highest quality social amenities such as restaurants, hospitals and also entertainment sport. A good reasons why the country has the highest number of expatriates living and working in Kenya. And considering that a full liberalized economy, Kenya fully liberalized its economy by removing all obstacles that previously hampered the free flow of trade and private investment. This includes exchange controls, import and export licenses, as well as restrictions in terms of remittance of profits and dividends in different areas. In terms of its market, it's a preferential market access. Kenya is signatory of a number of multilateral and bilateral trade agreements. As part of the trade policy, Kenya is a member of the World Trade Organization, making her the product and access to more than 90% of the world's market at most favored nations in terms of the treatment. In addition, Kenya is a member of several also trade agreements beneficiary to enhance schemes that includes the African Growth and Opportunities Act, which we've pointed out, the trade agreement and the common market of East and Southern Africa. In considering this as a well-established and a vocal private sector, which is a vibrant one, so to point out, Kenya has a very substantial private sector, including a significant number of foreign investors, and also it's taunted as one of the most resilient in world's economy. The country has always been a market economy. Key players in voicing private sector concerns include the Kenyan Private Sector Alliance, Federation of Kenyan Employers, the FKE, and also the Kenyan Association of Manufacturers. Furthermore, the government also frequently conducts regular policy dialogue and private sector players through the Prime Minister's regulatory issues. All of these particular areas makes investing in Kenya a huge success, and for those of you who plan to enter this market, it will provide you not just the opportunity, but again, it will show you that you are in one of those African countries that businesses don't just go and die. They go in and they come out with well investment money and also come out with huge return on investment. In considering this, we want to believe that Kenya has a lot of opportunities in terms of its universities and training centers and different businesses that will also engage with your own business while you are translating business in this particular part of the continent. Are you from Kenya? Do you believe that Kenya has what it takes for investors to come in to basically make this particular region or country be a center of their operation? Do you believe Kenya is more competitive at what it was 10 years ago today? Let us know. If you are from Nairobi and if you're from one of the regional parts across Kenya, tell us why Kenya should be a place where people should come in and invest and also put in their billions and their millions so they can also reap off the benefits from their investment. We want to thank you for watching The Explorer. We shall looking forward to meeting you soon. We encourage you to give this video a like, and we shall be joining you soon again, and have a good day. Bye-bye.